What is up, Finn fans? Day 2 of training camp in the books. You guys already know from the video I made earlier today, we signed wide receiver Hurns. I think it was a great signing. Up to $3 million up to $3 million for 1 year. Again, up to. That means with incentives, with practices, with actually playing in games and stuff, he can get up to $3 million years. Doesn't mean much. Brian Flores, press conference before we got into training camp, so let's jump into that. Talks about the wall, talks about the TNT wall. He says there's no choice. He says it's gotten to the point that they just know. They mess up, they get up, they run to the wall. He says he expects her into practice today, which he did. I'll go more into that when we get to it. But it's funny, he signs, boom, right out on the practice field. Again, we'll talk about that more. He wants to bring in competition, right? That's what Hurns is. He's bringing competition. People who, embodies what they want to do, a lot of character and what they're looking for. But he told Hurns, listen, if you're coming in here and you expect to start, or if you come in here and you're not expecting to compete for a position, this isn't for you. Guy signed the contract, so obviously he knows what he's getting in for. He talks about Balaj, and Balaj getting the first team reps. We'll talk about that again in a little bit. He goes, I know he was out there first, but I don't look at it that way. He talks about it again, and he brings up some more stuff again that people are looking way too far into things, but I'll talk about it. He goes, on the running backs, you could expect us to put guys in positions for them to do well. So if you're great at one thing, you're going to be in that position. And again, that's the one thing I love the most about this coach, is that he's putting guys in positions to be great, and he's putting guys in positions for the team to succeed, not to fit his agenda and his big head, aka Adam Gase. Talks about Jakeem Grant. He says he's tough to cover. It's just the reality of it. The dude's got ridiculous speed. He's just ridiculously tough to cover. Brings up Raekwon Mcmillan, right? He said he came to camp great shape. He has a presence in the meetings. He's just got to be more consistent on the field. And that's why Sam McGuavin has been getting his reps, is because he's not consistent on the field. Another thing that he talked about, and it's huge, absolutely huge, they will be wearing pads tomorrow. I told you guys in yesterday's video, they don't wear pads every practice. They will be wearing pads tomorrow. It's huge. We'll get to see offense and defensive line play. We'll get to see trench play. We'll get to see running backs and linebackers play. Super, super great. He actually talks about Sam McGuavin real quick. He said he's a good, young, talented guy. He's done a good job, and they're going to give him more. They're going to give him more to do. Again, if you guys know, during OTAs and mini camps and all that stuff, I was praising McGuavin, even though I called him McGuavigon or something like that. I was calling the wrong name. I now know his name, Sam McGuavin. And then he says the team is in good condition, fairly good, resilient, and they got a good holdover from the OTAs and stuff, which is huge for this team. Very, very big into conditioning, strength and conditioning, and getting ready to play the season, especially in the heat, especially when you're going to be running the ball. So that's what he had to say during the press conference. And now let's jump into some notes before we get into play-by-play. McDonald, off the physically unable to perform list. He essentially went through what he had to go through, and he's off. It was 1 day. It was nothing. Albert Wilson is not at practice today. Neither is Ginkle, but Albert Wilson, it's his day off. They are slowly bringing him along. You don't want him to get injured. You don't want anything bad to happen to him. Then Hurns is wearing number 86. He was on the practice field. He did try it out on the practice field, but he mostly was on the bike, and he was warming up and stretching and all that stuff. So it's good to see him out there. And then during walkthroughs and, all that stuff, Rosen was with the ones. So that is kind of big. And then, Akins picks off Rosen, but what I'm hearing is that the pick was intentional. Now, again, I'm not an apologist. I'm not one to say like, oh, we did. But what I'm hearing from some of the people that were at training camp today was that it was purpose. It was a purpose, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if I believe it, but I just want to tell you guys what I'm hearing, what I read. It was purposely thrown so the defensive back could practice it, but we'll see. Again, I'm very, but I heard it was purposely thrown. And then Rosen puts one in the bucket to O'Leary in the back of the end zone on 7-on-7. So he comes back, even if it wasn't purposely thrown, came right back and did his thing. Like I said, Hurns riding the bike instead of working. Probably didn't know much of the playbook, so he was just getting out there, getting warmed up, getting ready for tomorrow when he's going to have his pads on. Like I said, Rosen was getting some snaps with the ones, which is good to see. And then Balaj got first team snaps on 11-on-11, and McMillan was not in, and Guavin was in. I am not looking into this. Flores has said 1,000 times that it doesn't matter. He's not looking at ones and twos and any of that stuff. And I will, later on in this video, when I talk about more things, I'll talk about it right now. Screw it. You know, the way I see with the Ballage and Drake situation, Ballage has had 36 rushes in the NFL. Drake has had 286 rushes in the NFL. They kind of know what they have in Drake, and they need to see what they have in this unproven young guy. And again, he had that really great game against the Vikings, but other than that, you know, he didn't get much. So they want to see what they have when they know what they have in Drake, right? And I bet you when the pads come on, you're going to start to see a lot of Kenyon Drake out there, a lot of him doing his thing. Also, Rosen was with the twos. He had the second team offensive line, but he had the first team wide receivers with him. Stills, Parker, all those guys. See what I'm talking about? They switch things up. So the fact that Ballage ran with the first team 2 days in a row, it's a nothing burger to me. It honestly is 100% nothing burger, because I'll talk about other people. You know, Rashad Jones was with the third team. Do you think that honestly is a big deal that Rashad Jones is with the third team, or do you think they kind of know what they have in Rashad Jones and they want to see what Bobby McCain can do at safety? They want to see what McDonald, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. It's training camp. Flores is probably messing with everyone. Flores knows what he's doing. So the fact that Ballage is getting first team reps, I honestly think it's just that he thinks that Ballage needs more help and more training with the first team, whereas he knows what Drake has. Not saying Drake is a guaranteed starter, but they're going to be splitting it 50-50. You want them both to be on the same page. That's what I'm just saying. And then Parker with a great pick, great catch from Fitz. Rowe was on the coverage. Rowe struggled, but then he came back in the end and kind of fixed it. And then nice pass from Fitz to Butler. It was a beautiful 45-yard bomb down the middle. Touchdown. Great thing. Fitz is killing it. Fitz is absolutely killing it. Rosen with a nice 15-yard pass to Kenny Stills. Like I said, Rosen had the first team wide receivers with the second team offensive line. It was a mismatch. You can't look into that stuff. And then Carradine and Orchard were the first team defensive ends, whereas yesterday it was Harrison Woodard, kind of incorporating that stuff. And then Grant, Irwin, Drake, and Walton were doing punt returns, kind of mismatching that up. O'Leary almost had a full extension touchdown, like fully extended his body, but McDonald punched the ball out. So again, that was great to see. And again, O'Leary was kind of a second teamer. McDonald was there. Again, I'm not looking into these things. Then Rowe goes in, knocks out a pass that would have been a nice touchdown to Preston Williams. Like I said, Eric Rowe kind of came back after that mishap. Then Fitz prevents a sideline catch. Now this is Mika Fitzpatrick, prevents a sideline catch from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Gesicki. It's such a when they're on the field at the same time, super confusing. Steps in front of the pass, prevents it. Then McDonald working with the starters, Fitz with the starters more today, and Jones, like I said, Rashad Jones was running with the twos. I said threes, but I was mistaken. Rashad Jones running with the twos again. So at some points you had Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Rashad Jones, and Kenyon Drake running with the twos. Is it because there's that narrative with the Ballage Drake situation that that's a bigger deal? Like, see what I'm talking about? It's not a big deal to me. Offense breaks down, whereas defense was still going through schemes and still doing stuff like that. And then Baker with a would-be sack on Fitz and on a blitz. Again, a lot of you guys were talking about potential blitzes if we can't get, you know, the steady pass rush from the edges. And then Ballage and Drake on the field at the same time. I can see this happening a lot, especially in shotgun sets. Why not have them on either side of them? Dangerous weapons. And then Drake was on the field for third downs. I can see that happening as well. Get Ballage in there, a series on first and second downs, bring Drake in third downs, you know, change it up. Then Eric Rowe with a nice touchdown breakup from Fitz again. So Rowe, like I said, he was really coming into his all. And then Ruddick to Kenny Stills for a touchdown, 11 on 11. Again, Ruddick is throwing to Kenny Stills. See what I'm saying? I'm going to stop saying. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop saying it. Wilkins now with the ones. So Wilkins was in there doing some work with the ones. And Bobby McCain was in safety the whole time. No rotation with the ones. And I honestly think that's not because he's going to start or anything like that. I think it's because they're really trying to get him used to playing safety. And then post-practice, they were doing gassers, and it was hot. It was like 80, 90 degrees down there in the humidity. It was really hot, doing gassers, getting themselves conditioned. My top three, Devontae Parker's killing it. he's up there. Eric Rowe came back, did really well, had some breakup touchdowns really well. And Aguavin got that starting role down. He's not letting it go. Obviously, Fitz was doing fantastic, putting him in there. But those are my top 3. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of the whole Balaj-Drake situation? Do you think that it's honestly because Balaj is going to be the starter, or do you think what I think, where essentially they just want to see what he has? He has a very small NFL sample size compared to Drake's. They want to see what they have, and they want him to get more practice because they want it to be an even split backfield. Let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you guys, your top 3 are, and we get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this one comes from Street King. Essentially, he asked me about the Flores hire and the staff running the team and showing signs of building a championship. That's what he was saying to me. And he asked, do I feel the same way? Do I have a different feeling that with this head coach and with this coaching staff, are we building a championship? Is it different? And I honestly 100% think it's different. And I've said it time and time again. I'll say it one more time. It's the fact that Flores has been everywhere. Special teams, offense, defense. I honestly think that that's the reason why this is different, and this is going in the great right direction. Also, they're not doing things the same when it comes to paying players and all that stuff. But that's what I think, and I honestly 100% agree. But yeah, that's the video for today. Tomorrow's video is going to come out a little earlier because I get out of work a little earlier, and then Sunday I don't have work, so you're going to get the video promptly, and I won't be sitting in my car with my uniform on. But be sure to follow me on Twitter. I retweet a ton of things. I had a few conversations with a few guys on Twitter. If you guys don't know what my Twitter is, it's at DouglieDoWrong. It's normally below, and then you can also hit the icons in the header on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out the Bit Boys. We've got a ton of stuff planned, a ton of big stuff planned there. So be sure to go over, check that itch out. Give this video a thumbs up, guys. Football is here. Like, it's here. We're seeing football. Tomorrow is pads. Like, I'm so excited for tomorrow for pads and to see them and hear what they're doing. It's super cool. Today there was no videos. Miami Dolphins didn't really put any videos out, and I honestly think there might be less and less compared to the other coaches because Brian Flores is more of a close to the chest type guy. But give this video a thumbs up because preseason's here soon. I'm going to be live streaming that stuff. I got a ton of stuff planned for you guys. If you guys watching this on DolphinsTalk.com, how are you doing? If you guys don't know about DolphinsTalk.com, it's a great website. Me, TD, Young Mayo, all these guys, Saba, we're all over there. There's also podcasts, writers, all these great guys over there. Go to check it out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. I talk about Miami Dolphins. When the season comes, I got a ton of stuff planned. When it comes to fantasy football, I'm putting a league together. When it comes to the picks, I'm doing full league picks every week. Preview, post-game, breaking down injury reports, everything. I got so much planned for you guys, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow with pads. I'm not going to have pads on. I should wear pads, but I don't have any pads. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a day 3 of training camp where they're wearing pads. A lot more things are going to happen. A lot more exciting things are going to happen. But other than that, stay classy. Fins up.